Hi everybody, it's Miss Julia here. So today's video is going to be a little more lighthearted and geared to the younger students. So I thought we'd just kind of do something kind of fun and very step-by-step, a little easier for the younger kids. So enjoy this video and share it with any younger students that might be in your household or friends. Thanks very much. Have a great day. So we're going to do a cute little video today. We're going to do some little tiny owls. So I'm going to start smack in the center of the sheet, and I'm just going to start with some basic shapes. So I'm just going to start with a nice little circle. So owls sometimes, when they're those little screech owls, their head is almost as big as their body. So I'm just going to put a little head on there. They also like to kind of snuggle next to another little owl when they're sleeping at night. Or during the day. For owls, they seem to like to stay up. So I'm going to add a second little owl kind of tucked in behind this. So I've got 4 circles. The bottom circles are just slightly smaller. Now you can overlap the top circle over this one, or you can overlap this one. It doesn't really matter. It just changes the way they're sitting. So now about halfway down that circle, I'm going to start with 2 little small circles and a little beak. Okay, so right about halfway, 2 small circles and a little beak. Now I'm going to make them sleeping. So I'm just going to add little sleeping eyes, and then I'm going to add wings. So their wings kind of tuck in when they're not flying. They just kind of tuck in. So I'm just going to add just a hint of a wing nestled against their bodies. I'm using a marker. You can start yours with pencil, and that way as you get going, you can use a marker just to give it a dark outline, or a color pencil. I'm going to do the little talons for their feet. I'm putting 4 little lines on one side, 4 little lines on the other side, and I'm going in different directions so it looks like it's wrapping around a branch. Then I'm going to round out the tops of each little talon. Talons are the toes of a bird. Okay, now I'm going to take and I'm going to add some texture to the wing by just adding a few little strokes to look like feathers. I'm going to start the feathers on the head, coming down from the top and curving with the head. Start at the top, and I'm going to curve with the head. Now they have kind of almost like a little peak in the middle, and you leave a little white around their eyes. So I'm just going to kind of work those lines in, tightening them up, leaving a little peak in between, like that. Okay, now I'm going to take their bellies and I'm just going to do a few little V's more towards the bottom of their belly to give the impression of just hanging feathers. A few lines at the top. Okay, now we're going to put them on a little branch. So I'm going to tuck the branch in underneath them and go off the page. Okay. I'm going to fatten it up right in here, and I'm going to add a big knot hole in the tree. I'm going to add some lines. Now, they're in a tree, but we're going to add, I'm going to make the hole look more like a hole by doing strokes downward, upward, and I'm going to tighten it up at the bottom of this, so it really makes you want to look inside. It just gives you that interest. Just tighten it up so it lightens up as it comes. So now it looks like a hole. So I'm going to add just a few little leaves kind of coming in from the sides. leaves over here. And it's quite an elaborate looking little drawing, but it's quite easy to do. A lot of fun. Okay, so now we're going to color this one in chalk pastel. So I'm going to take a white chalk, and I find this really helps when you're doing like a sky or a background, to dust your sheet first with a white chalk. It just allows the colors that you put on to make it look like soft sky. It allows you to push the colors into the white chalk and they go on almost like they're out of focus a little bit. So I'm going to take and rub in this white chalk just lightly. I don't want to rub it to the point where the dust is gone. I need the dust to push the other colors into. Now I'm going to take a little bright yellow, and I'm just going to add a glow. I'm making it daytime. These owls like to sleep during the day and they like to be out at night. Oops, I'm going on my branch. Okay. Now I'm going to rub that in just lightly to get rid of the dry look. Then I'm going to take a little bit of blue chalk, and I'm going to rub the blue chalk on a scrap piece of paper. And I'm just going to rub a little blue chalk like this, create a puddle. Then I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to take the blotter that I've just made, and I'm going to add little clouds in the sky. And this is just an easy way. If you put the blue chalk on directly, it doesn't go on as soft as if you use a blotter paper. So I'm just going to add some little random clouds with a little bit of sky color in here. If you need more dust, just add a little more chalk to your page. So it just kind of gives you passing clouds, a little mist in the distance, and some depth. So now for the actual little owls, I'm going to start with a little yellow ochre. I'm going to put a little yellow ochre, and there's different colored owls. These ones are going to be the brown, typical kind of goldy and brown. Put a little bit at the bottom of their belly. Their bellies are usually whiter, so I'm not going to put much on the belly. So I'm just dusting a little bit of that, and I actually can put it right on the little talons of their feet at the same time. There we go. Now I'm going to take my baby finger, because it has a light touch, and I'm just going to dust in towards their eyes. And then I'm going to take a little of this yellow, and I'm just going to go around their eyes. So it gets a little lighter towards the middle, almost white. Okay, now I'm going to take the brown, and I'm going to start at the back of the head, kind of work my way in on top of those marker lines from the outside in. So I'm not really losing the yellow, I'm just putting these lines next to the yellow. I'm not going to put this on the belly. Coming around the corner. Go. And then I'm going to again take my baby finger and just pull it in so it has a soft feathery look, almost airbrushed. A neat eraser is a good idea for any finger marks. I always have a tendency to get finger marks on mine. Another trick is, if you don't have a neat eraser, I'll just show you with a neat eraser what this looks like. Neat eraser looks like stick tack. You can even use stick tack as a neat eraser. Just going to kind of go around the corner here. But if you still have phantom lines, you can take your white chalk and clean up the edge a little with your white chalk and just kind of tap it in. There we go. Now we're going to do the tree. So for the tree, I'm going to go in with my yellow ochre again. I'm just going to dust a little of this yellow on here, almost like what we did with the white in the background. It just adds that little dusty coat, but this has a little more color to it. Going around their little feet like this. And then I'm going to take the brown, and I'm only going to just kind of repeat my lines with the brown. I'm not covering it. I'm going to color and blow on it every once in a while just to get that excess dust off. Don't let the colors puddle too much on your page because it does have a tendency to get messy. So I'm going to go like this in my hole, and then I'm just going to take my finger and I'm going to blend that. Now you have this great dirt on your finger, and you're just going to smudge that almost like a blotter. You're just going to smudge that in around, leaving some highlight on your bark. There we go. So it kind of looks like a nice dark branch of the tree. So now I'm going to take my dark brown and I'm going to create little stick branches coming out of my tree. And I'm just going to smudge those a little bit with the side of my finger. Even leave them a little bit messy so that they look out of focus. Now I'm going to take a nice bright yellow, and I'm going to color my leaves with the bright yellow first. So we're doing the color harmony. So yellow and blue make green. And so your color harmony for green is blue and yellow. Yellow being your warm, so that's your highlight. So I'm going to switch my finger. I'm not going to use this finger because this one has brown on it. I'm going to go to a clean finger, somewhat clean, and I'm going to rub my yellow in. You just switch your fingers around as you switch your colors. I'm going to take a little bit of the green, that is my base color, and I'm just going to put in the outside edges and the center of my leaf. I'm going to take my clean finger with the yellow, and I'm just going to pull it in so it gives you a highlight. You see that? So I'm going to come down, outside edges down the middle, smudge with a clean finger. You can even clean your finger off on a Kleenex in between the colors. It's not a good idea to wash your fingers with a wet one in between, because then your fingers are a little bit wet and the colors have a tendency to stick and not spread as easily as when your fingers are dry. So if you do use a wet one and clean your finger right off, dry your hand really good so that the colors will blend as you do it. There are little tricks you learn when you get going with pastel, that there's some things that work a little better than others. Now I want to add a little shadow. So I'm going to add a little shadow to the base of my leaf with my blue chalk, and I'm just going to drag the blue in the base of my leaf. Little shadow. It just gives my leaf a little more of a curl. Maybe down one side a little more than another. And there we go. Now I think I'm going to take my yellow ochre and I'm just going to rim the top of my hole just to show it off a little more. And a little trick, cool colors recede. So I'm going to take a little blue and I'm just going to go at the base of my hole with some blue, blend it in with my brown, and it makes it look like an opening. So I'm also going to take my blotter paper with the blue and I'm going to add a little blue to the base of the bellies of my little owls so that they look shaded too. So you can use white chalk to brighten up some of the feathers on the belly afterwards, so you can kind of see the white chalk. You can even use it on their eyes if you want. Okay, have some fun with this. Enjoy.